What's up, everybody, and welcome to What's Up, Bree. This is episode number 9, and it is going to be called The Effects of Social Media. To all of you guys that are returning, I definitely appreciate it. If this is your first time listening to my podcast, we talk about anything and everything, and this week we will be discussing social media. The reason why I wanted to talk about this is because I feel like it's very important. Social media can be very, very influential on people's lives, their way of thinking, and things of that nature. Earlier this year, I know they were talking about taking away likes and things like that so that people can stop comparing or feeling as if they're being bullied or etc. on social media. I feel like it's very important, especially when we live in times to where children have access to social media as young as the age 11, whether it's Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok. I feel as if it's still a form of social media because you are able to interact and connect with people and do videos. And it really is creating its own world. I know a lot of people say it, but not a lot of people, I feel like, live by it. The example of don't believe everything that you see on social media. Don't believe the hype. Don't get caught up in it. It's kind of hard, I would say, to not get caught up in the hype, especially if you follow celebrities, because all you're seeing is their lifestyle. They're getting on jets. They drive fancy cars. They have nice houses. They're spending money in a strip club. They're wearing designer. That is putting something in front of you to where it's like, man, I want to live like that too, especially when it comes to music. You're listening to rappers, you like their style, you like where they came from, what they're talking about, so you want to be a part of that too. But that can also affect you in bad ways. A lot of people are going through all types of measures to be able to achieve a lifestyle or to look or present themselves as, hey, I got everything together. Nobody is really on social media being honest and saying, hey, I'm behind on my rent. Hey, I have mental health issues. Hey, I go to a therapist. Nobody really talks about the bad stuff that they go through, the way that they're feeling, or just being plain honest about their lifestyle. For example, a couple of years ago, and it's still floating around to this day, a picture of somebody in their room. The background was very tarnished. There was clothes everywhere. There was no bed. But he zoomed in on a picture of a shoe, which was a Balenciaga shoe. A lot of people can do that also. You can pretty much be whoever you want to be on social media. You are able to present yourself however you would like to. And it's really starting to affect the youth and even older people. For example, a lot of women do not like their bodies nowadays because what they're seeing on social media. They feel as if they have to go get surgery to kind of fit into this cookie cutter image of what a woman is supposed to feel like. I've had times to where I felt like, you know what? I've gained some weight. I don't like the way this, that, and the third looks. I'm going to go get a BBL. I'm going to go get lipo. Me and my friends talk about it all the time. Don't get me wrong. If you do not like something about yourself, you do have the opportunity to be able to improve or change it, especially if you have the funds and the availability to do so. But that does not mean that you necessarily have to. There are natural ways to still get a very nice body. Working out, eating a little bit healthier, it is going to take a little bit longer, and it is taking the stairs versus the elevator type of thing. But the rewards may be a little bit better for you in the end. We have seen plenty of women either go overseas or even in the U.S. that have died from BBLs, died from liposuction. It is a very, very, very dangerous procedure. Doctors talk about it all the time. If they inject your fat the wrong way, you could easily not wake up or come out of surgery. People are getting their teeth done. I personally feel as if I am very high maintenance and I have OCD when it comes to appearances as far as teeth and things like that. But that goes with hygiene for me. As long as you're not walking around with smelly breath, I don't feel like you have to have perfect teeth. Yes, I have had braces before, but I don't think I'm going to go and get my teeth shaved down and spend $11,000 or $12,000 on veneers. They look really, really, really nice. I know a couple of people that got them. Big ups to y'all. I personally just don't feel like I'm going to take that route to go that far as doing that. That's something that you have to keep up with. It's maintenance. And I feel like a lot of people don't realize that when we're talking about surgeries and altering things, you have to keep up with that. Even with injections, a lot of girls now are getting lip fillers or Botox. You have to keep up with that stuff because if you don't, you're going to revert right back to what you were doing before. And more of the story is you should really just love yourself. If you surround yourself with people who praise your beauty or things that they like about you, or even if you tell yourself like, hey, you look good today. Hey, embrace your chubbiness or whatever. As long as you love yourself and the people around you love you, you really should not let social media affect things that you have going on. It will turn into something that'll put you in a very dark place. And again, I am speaking from experience. I have been there before. I have compared myself and I really shouldn't have, or I have been kind of like, well, why don't I have this? Or why don't I have that? When I have more than enough of what I need. There are a lot of people out here that see things on social media and they think, oh, driving a nice car means that you have money. Having a nice home means that you have a good money. A lot of people are in debt. Lots and lots of debt. All that stuff is borrowed, rented, and they don't own it. Not saying that, of course, you don't want to drive a nice car. Because me personally, I drive a Lexus. Whatever. But I also have a high-ass car note. So it's like you got to take things for what they are versus what they seem. Another thing that I feel like has happened on social media, a lot of people have opened up themselves more. And don't get me wrong, I have friends on social media all the time, people that I've been following for years. I see their lives and we talk, converse, things of that nature. But some things I feel like should just stay personal and off of social media. I know a lot of people talk about not putting your relationships on there because think about it. You could be dating a person, nobody knows. Everything is perfectly fine. The minute that you put it on social media, people want to come out with the woodworks with all opinions, or this person and that person was dating them. And it kind of tarnishes everything. And just a couple months ago or a couple weeks ago, you guys were perfectly fine. Don't get caught up in the hype. I've been there. I know it's easier said than done. I personally have taken steps to make sure that I don't. The only social media I have is Instagram. I did have a Facebook previously a couple years ago, but I saw myself drowning into certain situations. I had a lot of negativity on my timeline, and that is self-reflecting because I chose to have those people on my timeline. I was arguing on Facebook, getting into it with people. It just wasn't a good situation. That was who I was, and I didn't want it to define who I am now and what I'm working towards. So I decided to get rid of it. I do have a Twitter because of my podcast. I have not been active on there, but I do plan on being more active. But I just say follow people that are positive, motivational. If you are having issues with your body, follow health people, people who go to the gym, people who will show you, hey, if you put in the work, you necessarily don't need to get surgery. If all you're following is pages that show BBLs and liposuction, you're going to put your mindset in the point to where this is the only way that I can achieve this look. Follow people that go to the gym. If you feel like you want to eat more healthy, follow people that do meal plans or meal prep. They'll motivate you to start making small changes in your life. So I just wanted to do that little snippet before I got into my polls, because you guys know I love polls because I hate forgetting stuff. So I just wanted to make sure to put that out there really quickly, and we can get back into that a little bit later. But yeah, this episode is the effects of social media. Social media can really just taint your mind. For example, The Game, his little quote that he did is literally being plastered all over social media. And I can totally agree with it. It says, let's normalize being normal. You don't need a Chanel bag or a BBL to be considered beautiful and feel like you're more of a woman. And my niggas, working a regular job and driving a cool little whip is still cool as fuck to me. Stop letting this social media shit fuck y'all heads up. Because a lot of people, again, will get caught into it. Natural hair is still beautiful. You don't necessarily wear the weave to be considered the cute girl or the pretty girl. And don't get me wrong, I love my extensions because I feel like they're protective styles. But as you can see, I will definitely rock my natural if or when I need to. It's all there. Just figure out what works best for you. If you do feel like you're in one of those spaces to where you're getting caught up in the social media hype, or it's kind of affecting you in a bad or negative way, try to catch on to it before you get too deep to the point to where it's like, okay, now you're in this funk. Comparison is the thief of joy. That is a really, really big statement. Sarah Jakes Roberts, if anybody knows her, Bishop T.D. Jakes' daughter, she's a little bit younger, so I can understand her preaching techniques a little bit better. I watched a sermon that she did, and that's something that stuck out to me, and that kind of influenced me to kind of get this episode going. So let's jump into these polls. I asked people, how often do you use social media? How often are you on, whether it's Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, etc.? Do you do it daily or do you say weekly? Now, this is an example of how influential social media is and how much time people spend on social media. 98% of my followers said they are on there daily. Big number. 2% said weekly. I am one of the daily people. I will take breaks from time to time, but majority of the time I am on there daily. So I'm kind of flipping through stories, looking at fashion, things of that nature. So I am a part of the 98% that does take my social media and check it daily. And so then I ask, if you're on there daily, what do you primarily use your social media for? Do you use it for business or do you use it for leisure? Do you sell hair? Do you cut hair? Do you sell clothes? Do you do real estate? Whatever is business. Leisure is, I'm just on there because, I want to see what's going on, stay connected with my people, get on the shade room, whatever. 36% said business. Hey, I'm on here to promote my brand. I got something to sell. I got something to say. So that's what I'm doing. And 64% said leisure. I'm kind of sort of in between. Now that I am doing my podcast, I do find myself on here more kind of looking at people's stories, trying to interact with people and things of that nature. But there are times to where I'll go on, I would say like a social media binge, to where I'm literally just click, tap, 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 watching people's story. I'm pretty sure people see me in their views. If you see me, I am not a creep. If I'm one of the first people to watch all your stories, I'm probably up late at night or I'm sitting around bored or something. Or maybe you got stuff that I like to see. Maybe you always going out and I'm vicariously living through you. But 64% said leisure. I'm just on here kind of checking things out, posting, having fun, whatever. And 36% said business. So the next question that I wanted to ask, do you check to see who watches your story? 64% said yes and 36% said no. I am a part of the 64%. I can't even really give a valid reason as to why. I would look to see who watches my story. I know in the past it was certain things to where, of course, is such and such watching my story, or maybe a guy I liked or dating to see if they were watching my story, something stupid or silly like that. But I am a part of the 64%. I do check it out from time to time. And people agree with me like, hey, yeah, I want to see who's in my views, see what they're looking at, whatever your personal reason for doing that is. And then 36% said, no, I don't care who's watching my story. Whatever, it doesn't matter. I'm posting it, so obviously I want it to be open. And the next question that I feel like ties in with that is your page public or private? And 57% said public and 43% said private. And that was a little tricky to me, and I am a part of this too. Again, I self-reflect all the time. My page is public, but I look to watch who watches my story. That's kind of backwards, because it's like, okay, if I wanted to limit it, why wouldn't I put my page to private? Why would I have it public? So those of you who voted that you watch who watches your story, but you have your page public, think about that a little bit. If you want to monitor or kind of see who's watching it, what's the point of having it public? Because obviously, either you feel as if somebody that doesn't necessarily like you, or maybe somebody that's being nosy, maybe in your views, you control who watches your story. Point blank, period. You have control over your social media and what's being put out there and what people are allowed and able to see. 43% said, hey, my page is private. I want to control who's on my social media. I want to control what they're watching, who's watching. I'm just a private person like that. And another thing that I wanted to ask, if your page is private, why? Somebody said people weird as hell. That word has been used, I feel like, a lot lately. Tongue twister. A lot lately. Everybody's calling people weird. You guys really should look up that word in the dictionary. Just don't throw it around loosely. But somebody said people are weird. Another person said just made it that way, trying to transition to my business page. That's a big one too. If you have had your social media and it has been used for personal or leisure and you are starting a business, I can definitely understand as to why you want to put it private. Because if you more so have been one of those people who negative things have been on your social media, you want to try to do a cleanup. Because of course, I'm not buying something from somebody if I feel like they have a nasty attitude or they're always arguing or getting into it with people. I just feel like, congratulations, big ups to you, but I don't want to buy something from somebody like that. Another person said they just hate the spam stuff. Spam is big on social media, bots and telemarketers, and they find ways to kind of just all in your DM, hey, promote this on my page and da-da-da-da, or do you want to have sex with me, or do you want to see a video? It's getting really weird. Somebody else said a lot of weirdos trying and to keep my business / private life separate, so I accept certain people. Definitely understand. So you can see who's sending you friend requests and you can choose if you don't want them on your page. Somebody said, because weirdos that like to follow and nosy people. Some people do be nosy. Somebody said, motherfuckers be lucky and parlay. That was a guy, so maybe he's referring to females. Somebody said, because I enjoy my privacy, some people don't need to see my every move. And that is true too, because a lot of people, and that person I know personally, she's a very family going person. So a lot of her friends and followers are people that she's like grew up with and things of that nature. So it's like, hey, there's sometimes that I might put something on my social media that is personal or private, and I'm comfortable with these people seeing it. I don't mind. So that's why I'm going to keep my page private. So that way somebody that doesn't necessarily care for me or doesn't have the best intentions while they're on my page won't have access to certain things that I don't want them to see. So I definitely understand that. And also I wanted to ask, do you feel as if social media has created a false narrative about life? 93% said yes and 7% said no. I am a part of the 93%. I feel like social media, again, has presented life as, you know, we're going to pop bottles, we're going to turn up, we're going to get money, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. But nobody's showing the steps that people may have had to take to get there. Nobody's really showing the struggles or failures or losses. Everybody is winning on social media from what I can see. It's really just making it unattainable to be able to do certain things. Again, we're following celebrities. Their money comes in a little bit different. Their lifestyle is a little bit different than us. Of course, they're going to be in the club popping bottles and throwing money because that's a part of their brand. They're meant to sell it to us so that way we can latch on to it. For example, the whole designer kit. What a lot of people do not understand, and I just know this from people that are working in the industry, a lot of these clothes that these celebrities have on, they are not paying for. This is all promotion. So they got on Gucci head to toe, Dior, Prada, to where they done damn near got this shit for free. And us working people or us middle class are sitting here trying to live paycheck to paycheck or scramble our dollars together so that we can be able to look like them. So we're the ones that's burning up holes in our pockets and spending all this money to where they're promoting it for us to buy and they're getting the shit for free. So it's like you have to look at things that way also. A lot of celebrities get a lot of stuff for free. For example, when it comes to hair and makeup, my friend is a makeup artist. She was offered to do somebody's makeup, but the person said, I can either pay you half or you can get the promotion. My thing is, regardless of how big your name is as a celebrity, pay somebody for their time and work. Yes, you can get them exposure. Yes, you can get their brand out there, but they're also taking their time out to possibly not service other clients that are paying or just their craft in general. A lot of people, especially hairstylists and makeup, anybody that's in a beauty business, they spend hours and hours to perfecting their craft, whether it's taking one-on-ones, whether it's trying new stuff at home. So value that. Don't take advantage of that and put it as, I'm a celebrity, so hey, you know, you should want to do my makeup. Nothing is free in this world. But again, social media puts a false narrative out there that it pretty much is because celebrities are getting away with it. So I just feel like don't believe everything that you see on social media. Half of it is not true. And some people know that because 7% said, oh, some people don't know that. My bad. Because 7% said that they don't feel like it created a false narrative. And it definitely does. So I'm a part of the 93%. I feel like a lot of stuff on social media is fake. Probably about maybe 5% of it is genuine and true. The other half is just like, it's some bullshit. Another question that I wanted to ask, have you ever felt like you needed a break from social media? 5% said no and 95% said yes. I am definitely part of the 95%. I do feel like at times I need a break from social media. If you follow me on Instagram, you'll see there'll be days where I may watch your story, but I personally don't post anything. Or there may be days to where I'm just not on there at all because I need a mental break. I do follow the Shade Room. I follow gossip sites like It's On Site. And sometimes it's just too much. It's just like the older I get, I feel like it's more cattiness on social media. And it kind of shows you that celebrities have real lives like we do. They're on there arguing or they're getting into it or somebody's being bullied. It's just ignorant. Or even not celebrities, people from my hometown going back and forth on social media. It's just like, you know what? I need to mute this for a couple of days. It's toxic. And it can put you in a bad mood. Energy is definitely transferable. You don't need to necessarily be body to body with somebody for their energy to come off on you. If you are following somebody on social media to where every post that they make is negative or they're always talking down or bad on somebody, that is physically draining because at the end of the day, you're reading it, so you're intaking it. So yeah, I definitely do feel like sometimes I just need a break. Like let me just disconnect from the internet world and spend time in the real world and come back when I feel refreshed. So 95% said yes and 5% said no. And a lot of people that said no to the last question in this one, they are active on Facebook or Instagram or Twitter, but not as much. So I feel like they kind of know how to control it. And I feel like that's a big thing too. Just learn how to control yourself. What triggers you, what makes you depressed, what makes you sad, what makes you happy. If you know how to control your emotions and feelings, you'll be able to control a lot of things in your life. Another question that I wanted to ask, have you ever had a public blowout on social media? 51% said yes, 49% said no. Sometimes when I'm on social media, I do follow people and I am not pinpointing or pointing anybody out because we have all been there. I've been there myself. I have not done it as of late. I do see when people have disputes with like the father of their children or their friends, they immediately run to social media and blast all their business. And sometimes it's like, okay, I get it. You get frustrated sometimes and it's like, I just want to vent, or maybe I just want to show you to stop playing with me, or I feel like you're one of those people that lives a false narrative on social media. So I'm going to tell the world what is really going on behind closed doors. I've personally had a couple blowouts on social media and I've always felt embarrassed afterwards because a lot of them were with friends or even relationships. And it's like, I see myself arguing on social media, but then me and that person are back cool, or I'm back in that same relationship. And at this point, we both look like clowns. I remember one time me and my best friend had a blowout on social media and it wasn't big and it wasn't something that was serious. And after I found a meme of two little girls walking down the street and they had clown noses on, they were dressed as clowns. I said, this is how I feel, because it was a misunderstanding. And I feel like a lot of things can get misinterpreted on social media. So you have to be careful with that too. Don't always assume that somebody is subbing you. Don't always assume that somebody is watching what you do on social media because they want to be nosy or because they want to be negative. Some people just like seeing stuff, you know? So I am a part of the 51%. Unfortunately, I have had a blowout on social media before. Again, I have not had one as late. And I've also learned that even if I know for a fact somebody is talking about me on social media, the last blowout that I had, I didn't even engage in it. I let the person say what they wanted to say because at this point, a person can only argue with you if you argue back. Eventually, if somebody is continuously saying stuff about you, if you don't say anything, yeah, everybody else is going to look at it as, oh, you're a punk, you're this, you're that. Let's just block out what everybody else has to say at this point. And I'm going to make you look stupid on your own because you're talking to yourself. I don't have to engage. I don't have to give you my energy. I don't have to give you my time. And 9 times out of 10, if you're the person that ran the social media, that just furthermore shows as to why I may not necessarily be dealing with you at the moment. But 49% said no. So shout outs to y'all for never having like public blowouts. Another question that I wanted to ask, have you ever vented about something personal on social media? 55% said yes, 45% said no. I am, again, unfortunately, a part of the 55%. I do make subs sometimes, whether it's about certain things. I may not go into deep measures like I used to and like tag people, or people are like clearly know like, okay, she's talking about this, that, and the third. But I will throw a little sub out there from time to time. It's not healthy, of course. It's not cool. I'm not justifying it, but I'm just being real. I have vented about stuff, or, you know, been in situations to where I felt like I am going to go on social media. I don't really feel like talking to my friends. I don't really feel like talking to my family about it. I want to talk to my followers. Sometimes I've noticed that when I vent about stuff on social media, people inbox me and they're able to give an input. And that's another thing too. And that's why it's kind of tricky about it, because I've even been that person to where I saw somebody literally have a nervous breakdown on social media, and I've been able to inbox them and give them words of encouragement. They're like, you know, thank you. I really needed to hear that. Sometimes it can be a positive, but 7 times out of 10, it may turn into a negative light. 45% said no. Never vented about anything personal. This is social media. We don't take anything personal here. It's just for leisure or business. And one question that I wanted to ask, why do you feel like people turn to social media to vent? Of course, somebody said to feel important or to get clarity. I can definitely see that too. And a lot of people feel like nobody hears them within their personal life, or nobody is seeing them or understanding what they're saying. They sometimes put it on social media like, look, I'm fed up. Listen to what I'm saying. I need to spread my voice. Some people say to get clarity. That could be something, because sometimes if you put something on social media, again, people may inbox you with their opinions about it. And maybe a lot of people agree with you. Maybe you're arguing with somebody and they're arguing down that you're wrong. And you're like, no, I know I'm right. And then you put it on social media and then everybody kind of like, yeah, that person was wrong. You can get clarity from that from time to time. And then somebody said, because they ain't got no friends or for attention. Hell, I don't know. My friend is funny. Somebody else said, no one to talk to or just trying to clown. Again, loneliness is real. A lot of people feel like they don't have people that they can vent to. They don't have people that they can talk to. And their followers are their friends or family. Somebody else said they want attention. Somebody said no one is around at the time to make the person feel shit about themselves. Like, yeah, I just told social media what you did is stupid. I get that one. Opinions of people who know of you but don't personally know you can sometimes help. And again, I was saying that earlier. Sometimes you may put something on social media, and of course, because it is to the public, people that have different opinions or maybe been in that situation before can give you advice on how to get out of that, or kind of how to improve, or things that you can do to kind of just better yourself as a person. Somebody else said sometimes for attention, other times because social media is a diary. I do feel like Instagram was definitely a personal diary for me back in the day. Somebody said they have an audience of people. That's a way to get under folks' skin, public humiliation. I do feel like people that have strong followings and things of that nature, and again, this kind of ties in with bullying. If they're necessarily into it with somebody who isn't as active on social media, doesn't care about followers and likes, they do kind of use that as a one-up to like, okay, I'm going to tell 11,000 or 12,000 or 13,000 or 20,000, hell, 100,000 people how I feel about you. And then, as you guys can see, even when celebrities or regular people get into it, you have people that you don't know from Sam or Nina up the block in your comments or writing you like, I'm going to whoop your ass, or you a dumbass bitch, or this, that, and the third. That is definitely real. Somebody said people may have nobody else to talk to, and sometimes you just want to vent and get stuff off of your chest. Somebody else says social media is a sort of veil for most. It's easy to say something on here, then exit, which is also true. Somebody said open journal, don't really care who sees. Somebody said messy, or just to tell all the people at one time so they don't have to repeat their stuff. I can definitely agree with that. Like, let me just get y'all all together real quick. Somebody said most of the time it's just for attention. Somebody said ignorant, and somebody else said nobody else to talk to or just looking for attention. One thing I will say is if you feel like you don't have anybody to talk to, I feel like a lot of people in general, especially in the minority community, therapy is a thing. There's nothing wrong with therapy. I feel like talking to somebody who does not know you but not having to put it on social media may be the best route. So just try that out. Another question that I wanted to ask, do you feel as if your friends have to post you on social media when it comes to birthdays, businesses, etc.? 42% said yes and 58% said no. I'm going to say yes only because I know what type of friend I am and what type of friend I expect. Give me what I give you. I'm not saying post me 50 million times. I'm not saying put me on your story every day, because I used to be the type of person to where I felt like if I text you or if I, congratulated you when I saw you, that was enough. But think about it. If you have 2,000 followers and I have 10,000 followers, or you have 10,000 and I have 2,000 and you have a business, just simply by me posting my friend's business, I'm allowing them to connect with other people that may not know what they have going on. And then I am a person to where everybody knows this, especially if you follow me. Birthdays are super duper duper important to me. So yes, I'm going to shout my girls out. I'm going to shout my man out. I'm going to shout my family out. I'm going to make sure I upload videos and memories, because that's all you really have in life. 58% said no. I don't require it. You don't have to necessarily post me. As long as you tell me personally, we cool. Another question that I wanted to ask, if somebody is capping on social media, do you feel that you need to expose them? 9% said yes, 91% said no. I'm going to say no. I'll be honest, it's kind of irritating when you know somebody is not necessarily living how they say they are, or they're not doing the things that they say they're doing, or they're presenting themselves to be something that you know they're not. But I don't feel like that's up to me to expose your hand. I feel like people can differentiate real from fake. We're all grown. We're all adults. And at the end of the day, you're fighting something bigger than what I can see or anybody else. And that's something you have to live with. If you want to get on social media and make it seem like you have it and you're really not, or that you're living this lifestyle that you're really not, that's totally up to you. Them bills still gonna be coming in the mail, and at the end of the day, when social media is off and you go home and lay down at night, you got your personal thoughts. I'm not gonna be the person. Who am I to judge? I'm not God. I don't need to expose you, but that will make me either back off from you, or just kind of, it may change the dynamic of our relationship, because I feel like if you lie to a bunch of people you don't know, you'll definitely lie to me. 9% say yes. I'm exposing you because why are you on here capping? Stop with the cap. Y'all savage. The next question that I wanted to ask, do you think it's weird for people to have social media for their kids and post it as if they're them? 72% said yes. 28% said no. I'm sorry. I think that is so freaking weird. Like, no disrespect, but Keisha Kiora posted a picture and then her son, who can't even talk or walk, commented like, look at my mama. I'm just confused about that because, of course, we know that your child is clearly not on social media. For one, I don't feel as if I would even expose my child that young because people are cruel. They'll say hateful things or they'll try to use your kid's pictures or just anything. But to me, that is weird. I can understand if your kid has a social media page and you're posting pictures and maybe your kid has a business, maybe it's baby clothes or something like that. But other than that, I just feel like it's weird. 36% said they don't see anything wrong with it. If people want to make pages for their kids, let them be. Another question that I wanted to ask, do you feel like there should be an age limit on social media? 75% said yes and 25% said no. I definitely feel like there should be an age limit on social media. I feel like kids are being exposed to things at a way younger age. I am a 90s baby and my generation moved a little bit fast, but the new generation, I feel like it's just too much. They're being exposed to sexual things at a younger age. They're being exposed to bullying at a younger age. I just feel like it needs to go back to a time to where kids were playing outside. They were in sports or activities. It does not have to always be about a cell phone. 25% said no, it shouldn't be an age limit. If their parents allow them to do it, go ahead. I just personally, I don't agree with that at all. Let kids be kids. That's pretty much all that I can say. One thing that I asked, have you ever followed somebody on social media that you don't quote unquote like? 79% said, no, I'm not following anybody that I don't like. I don't need to see what they have going on. I don't care about their life. Why am I following somebody if I say I don't like them? 21% said yes. I will be totally honest. I have definitely followed somebody that I necessarily didn't like. I'm not at that stage anymore in my life. Again, if I follow you, it's not on anything funny. I have no ill intentions. Either we buried the hatchet or I'm pretty much over it. I don't care. Like, it is what it is. But have I in the past? Yes. I will say, though, if you are currently following somebody that you claim you don't like, question yourself as to, do you really not like them? Or maybe it's something that you do like about them. You know? The next question that I wanted to ask, have you ever created a fake page? 16% said yes and 84% said no. I'm a part of the 84%. I don't have a need to create a fake page. I'm not doing all that. If I want to see something that I don't need to see, and 9 times out of 10 in the past it was pertaining to a dude, I'm just gonna send my friend to your page. I don't care. But I'm not making no fake page to follow not nobody, not no female, not no male. That takes too much time and attention. And obviously that person don't want you on their page, which is why you have to create a fake one. So don't go through all that trouble. 16% said yes. Y'all real savage. I don't understand why y'all doing that. But again, don't let social media control your mind. So those were all the questions that I asked. Again, just to kind of close it out, love yourself is pretty much all that I can say. What's for you will be for you. You will not have to struggle, fight, nail and tooth to get it. You will have to put in hard work. But whatever is meant to be in your life, whether it's family, friends, financial aspects, career-wise, whatever, it will be presented and laid in front of you with no issues, no problems. Again, comparison is the thief of joy. If you're sitting around and you're comparing to, oh, well, her car is this, or she has this, that, and third. Everything is not what you see, especially when it comes to relationships. Just because you see these celebrities, and we've seen it all the time. Oh, they're so happy, they're in love, and months down the line, they're either getting divorced or such and such has been exposed for cheating on somebody else. Everything is not all what it's cracked up to be. Create your own peace outside of social media. You control who gets your energy. You control who gets your time. You control your measures of success based off of the hard work that you choose to put in. Don't let something that was meant for people to interact or for people to have business tarnish your mind. A mind is a terrible thing to waste, and make sure you use it properly, use social media properly, and just don't let it get you down. So thank you for tuning in. Episode number 9 of What's Up Bree, the effects of social media. Again, please make sure that you are following me on Instagram and my YouTube. They all have the same @ name. On Instagram, it's What's WHATSSS_up Bree. My YouTube is What's Up Bree. Catch you on the next episode. And we out. What's up, Bree? Hey, what's up, Bree?